The honorary degree is the most prestigious honor that is bestowed by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. This honor is reserved for those who have rendered extraordinary service to the university, as well as the regional and global community. Our recipient today, Mr. Mort Crim, is being honored with a Doctorate of Humane Letters for his numerous contributions made in the field of journalism. Mr. Crim has worked as a professional speaker, announcer, broadcaster, news reporter, and a national correspondent. He also started his own communications company called Mort Crim Communications Incorporated and has authored several books. Many of you today would recognize his work or reference to his work as well. If you remember Neil Armstrong's landing on the moon, it was his voice on ABC that was describing the experience. Mr. Crim also covered President Lyndon B. Johnson's tours of Australia, Vietnam, and Korea. The popular culture reference to Mr. Crim would be Will Ferrell's Anchorman. It's widely known that he is the inspiration for this main character. Mr. Crim began his college studies first at Anderson College before transferring here to UNO to earn a Bachelor of General Education in journalism. He then went to Northwestern University for his master's degree in journalism. Mr. Crim's work history included creating and hosting 3 daily radio programs which centered around his belief that the world needs a break from the violent and bizarre stories that tend to dominate news media today. Instead, he focused on profiling real Americans who make a difference every day. He was an anchor for news stations in Louisville, Philadelphia, and Chicago, as well as ABC's World News Tonight. He last worked at the station in Detroit, where he stayed for almost 20 years. Mr. Crim's work earned him over a dozen Emmy Awards, a Gold World Medal for Best Radio Personality, and several Distinguished Achievement Awards from universities across the nation and around the world. For his devotion to giving a voice to the unheard and highlighting stories of courage and of triumph, and for his dedication to using his platform to update and educate the world, and for his embodiment of what we like to call the maverick spirit, the University of Nebraska at Omaha so proudly bestows upon Mr. Mort Crim the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, this 18th day of December, 2020, with all of the rights and privileges thereto. Thank you and congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and privilege to introduce to you the most recent alum of our university. Mr. Crim will now make our commencement address.
Thank you, Chancellor Gold. I'm deeply appreciative of this honor and for UNO's courage in selecting a journalist for this recognition. I mean, the media is just slightly less popular these days than the coronavirus. Some have even called us the enemy of the people. So in bestowing this degree, you also honor a profession which, for all of its flaws, remains a cornerstone of democracy. Thomas Jefferson said if he had to choose between newspapers or government, he would choose the press. Well, the need for a vigilant press, safeguarding our freedoms against misuse and abuse of power, has never been greater. So thank you for acknowledging journalism's importance. It was 60 years ago this month that I graduated from this campus. I came here for my senior year under the Air Force Operation Bootstrap program. And although my time at UNO was short, my memories are vivid. Mrs. Dunlap, who taught speech, Mr. Borghi, television production, a lot of fun in his classes. Paul Peterson, who taught critical writing and editing. I'm certain that the high academic quality that I experienced in 1961 has, like the campus itself, only improved over time. Now, I've been asked to share some of what I've learned during my 85 years. You know, there's a myth, probably first created by some old geezer about my age, a myth that with age comes wisdom. I'm not sure that's true, but I am old enough and wise enough to know that commencement speeches should be short. Socrates once made a long speech, and his friends poisoned him. So let me take just a few minutes to talk about something very near and dear to me, truth. My memoir is going to be published in February, and I've titled it Anchored, A Journalist's Search for Truth. This is not an easy search. A Martian lands on Earth, and he sees a man holding an iPhone. "What's that?" he asks. "Why, my friend," the man says, "I'm holding in my hand a device that gives me instant access to all the accumulated knowledge of mankind since the beginning of time." And the Martian replies, "And what do you use it for?" And the man says, "Oh, we send silly messages and we exchange photos of our grandkids." Well, here's the conundrum. Never in history have we had such easy access to so much information. And never in history has it been so difficult to find truth. Our internet today is saturated with partisan propaganda, extremists of various sorts posting, along with conspiracy theories, white supremacists, and other purposefully fake news. Anyone with a Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter account has potential access to millions of people, no matter how bizarre, dangerous, distorted, or false their opinions. Sadly, assaults on the mainline press are also at historic levels. And my profession has to bear some of the blame for this skepticism, because television has blurred the distinction between the opinionators who dominate news channels and honest, objective reporters who go about the business of uncovering and presenting facts. Now, such reporters still exist, but because news channels have fuzzied the lines between news and commentary, the public has become distrustful of all media. There are still solid professional reporters and writers who respect facts, who try to tell the truth. I know many of these journalists personally. So despite the media noise, don't ever give up seeking truth. In today's hodgepodge of competing voices, we have to be our own editors, sifting and sorting fact from fiction. Search out the good newspapers, the fair-minded reporters, the authentic television news programs, the reliable bloggers. It's worth the effort, because both the soul and the survival of our democracy depend upon our commitment to facts. We read in the Bible that truth makes us free. That principle works for individuals and for societies. But in addition to seeking truth, I would urge you to make another commitment. Let's just call it the Golden Rule. It means always considering the other guy, living as though you owed something to society for the space you're taking up on this planet. Albert Einstein was asked by a student, "Why are we here?" And he famously replied, "Why, we are here to serve others." When a Sunday school teacher quoted that in class, a little boy said, "I want to know what the others are here for." But Einstein had it right. It's an old principle, dominant in every major religion, and absolutely essential to a good life. Selfishness is bad civic policy, but it's even worse as a personal philosophy. In all the interviews I've conducted over my career, and there have been thousands of them, I never met one truly happy person who was selfish or self-centered. So graduates, go out from this wonderful campus and live a full, rewarding life by always seeking the truth and living and working for something bigger than yourself. Thank you.